Ready, set, go. Hi, welcome to 15 Minute Story. This is the 4th episode of 15 Minute Story. It's all about people's walk with Jesus and how they've experienced Him through different stories in their life, different trials in their life, and different crazy things that have happened in their life. So today, I'm with one of my best friends in the whole world, little man, Seth Hancock. He's going to tell us some just awesome stories about something that happened to him this past summer. And I'm really excited because usually whenever he starts bringing up these stories, I just make fun of him for it. But so the first question, Seth went to Zambia, which is a country in Africa this summer. So Seth, how did you end up in Zambia, and why did you go on this trip?
Well, I guess it was junior, sophomore, spring semester. I just gotten back from Hancock, so I was having trouble with school, like learning how to study again and everything. So just like a really hard semester, taking a lot of hard classes, and you know, I just kept feeling like stagnant with my faith and just stagnant with my life. So like one night towards the end of the semester, I just kind of like had it, and I called my dad and I was like, Dad, you know, I just feel like I'm being really stagnant. You know, I just feel like there's so many more things I could be doing. And he was like, well, he's like, you know, school is still a top priority. He goes, but you just need to pray about it, you know, and see just where God leads you. So that night I prayed about it. You know, God, just, you know, take my life, you know, do with it what you will. So then the next morning I wake up, go to classes, check my email, and on my email, it's an email from Dr. Duke talking about a medical mission to Zambia, and I was like,
I didn't know that.
All right. I was like, I called my dad, I said, Dad, I'm going. I said, that's definitely something God just put. So, and then a couple months later, I was in Zambia.
It's crazy. I didn't know that part about Dr. Duke. So the night before Seth left for Zambia, or like a week before, sometime, we were in Dallas and we were praying about it and just the things that were to come. And so what was the coolest memory or the coolest thing that happened while you were in Zambia?
I mean, the culture in general is just, I just think cultures are very cool, just all of them, but I mean, the Zambian culture is just cool in general, and the way that those people have unbounding hope and faith and just a will to survive and just live life to the fullest. You know, they don't worry about simple things like we worry here, you know, I don't know, you know, things dealing with social media or different government issues or different, you know, laws that are occurring, so, you know, so on and so forth. They just live life, and you know, we can definitely learn something from them. So, I mean, that was definitely a really cool thing. Yeah.
What's one moment for the trip that you will never forget? One moment.
One moment from the trip? You know, whenever I heard medical mission, I was like, you know, I'm going down there, you know, I'm gonna help heal all these people, you know, and they're just gonna, you know, love me for it, you know, so on and so forth. But what I totally forgot and just kind of overlooked was that there's gonna be a spiritual aspect to this trip. And every day I saw people of the Lozi tribe, which is the people we were going out to. Every day, it didn't, you know, ranging from like 1 to 10 people were being baptized. You know, they'd be taught the Bible, or just giving the overall view of the Bible in like an hour or 2 hours. And then some men would ask, you know, do you believe Jesus Christ is the Son of God? And they'd say, yeah. So then we'd run down this little, you know, river or lake, and people were baptized there. And I think throughout the whole week, around 70 people were baptized. And I remember thinking like, oh, I wish that could be more. But, I mean, 70 people in 1 week is more than some churches have in a year or 2 years, or 3 years.
Yeah.
So, that was awesome.
I remember you told me about that. I thought that was the coolest thing like I'd ever heard. So another question I have for Seth today is, because this is kind of like how everyone's, I guess, every week goes, but what was something that was unexpected that happened to you or the group on the trip, and how did God reveal Himself through that?
I mean, honestly, the whole trip in general was kind of unexpected because I didn't really feel like I knew what was going on going into it, which is, you know, made it the best. The reason I went down to Zambia is because, you know, I was struggling to figure out, you know, what I wanted to do after school, you know, whether it was pre-med or PA or dentistry or something like that. So I was like, you know, God put this trip in my life. I'm going to go down there. I'm going to figure out, you know, what I'm going to do. And it's just going to be crystal clear. It's going to be awesome to come back, you know, just going to go on with life. But that was not the case at all. So the unexpected thing was I totally had it wrong why God had me down there. You know, that whole summer was just kind of rough, taking classes and working and so on and so forth. I just got run down, and I was just so worried about the plan, you know, the plan of my life, the plan of what I was going to do. But down there, it was like God was kind of like screaming at me, like, just focus on my presence. I'm literally all around.
Yeah.
You know, I'd see him in the little kids that would run out. I'd see him in the elderly. I'd see it in the people whose teeth we were pulling, or the people who we were, you know, giving medication to. I mean, his presence down there is just unbelievable. And, you know, you don't have to go to Zambia to say, oh, God is real, God's presence is there. But down there, it's just so prevalent that how could you deny him, honestly?
Yeah.
So that was something that unexpected, that it was not expecting at all.
Yeah, that's something Seth and I walked through the Word together, and something that we both talk about a lot, especially last semester, was presence over plan. God's never revealed the plan to us, but He constantly is revealing His presence to us, which is just awesome that you point that out. Also, we're doing great on time. What is something today that is different for Seth Hancock in his daily life? Like, what has changed about your daily life since your summer, since your whole summer? Because I know your whole summer was just working at a pool in Dallas, Texas, and then going to Zambia. So how is your daily life as being a student and being involved in other things, how has that changed since being in Zambia?
I guess before Zambia, I was really worried about just like very surface level things, you know, what people think of me, or you know, just worrying about stuff, you know, social media stuff, and all this other junk. And after I came back from that trip, it was just kind of like I feel like it was kind of like a cleanse as well.
Yeah.
You know, just a lot of things that I used to care about a lot just don't matter anymore.
Yeah.
You know, when I got back, my parents would be like, oh, you gotta get this done, get this done. And I'd say, you know, it'll work out. And, you know, there's no rush. And they'd be like, oh, okay. Yeah, it'll work out. It's like, you know, there's really no problem. Like, everything's gonna be all right. So, I mean, I guess I just got, like, a lot of inward peace from the trip.
Yeah. And,
you know, understood that we get our peace from Jesus. So that was, yeah.
All right. 8 minutes. Not the last question, but what? So Seth's going back to Zambia this summer. Why are you deciding to go back to Zambia for a week or 10 days of your summer again?
It's about 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Sorry. Experience.
Yeah. Whenever you texted me that question, it kind of took me a minute to think about it. You know, why am I going back? Probably say the reason I'm going back is because I guess I'm just like so attracted to that culture, and you know, like I said earlier, the presence of Jesus down there is just everywhere. And you know, that's where I see. I'm not saying I don't see him here, but that's where I saw him the most. I just want to go back and see him. But I also built a lot of relationships with a lot of the Zambians, and I'm still in contact with a lot of them.
Yeah.
And
how often do you talk to them, do you think?
They DM me probably every day on Facebook. So I mean, probably every day. But I also just feel like that medical mission is just something that God is just continually calling me to do, and if I keep continuing to get the funds for it, and you know, if it's in God's will, then I'll keep going for as long as He wants me to. And until He says, you know, you're good on it, then I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah. So would you say that before, because you'd been on mission trips before Zambia, right?
Yeah.
So would you say before you went to Zambia that you thought that you'd ever want to do medical missions after college?
I never really thought about it until I got to Harding. You know, I'd been on mission trips. You know, I'd tell a lot of them to Honduras, and it was a lot of like construction work.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, I don't know how I can do this. You know, construction work's a lot of labor.
Yeah.
But you know, God has put a passion in my heart to do missions. But not saying I don't want to do laboring missions, but He's also put on my heart that I want to help people, those in need, you know, medically. So, you know, when I got to school, I was like, oh, you know, medical missions minor, I can do that. And, you know, hopefully the plan is that after college, you know, once I go through PA school, that, you know, again, if it's in His will, I can start running my own medical missions.
Yeah.
So
Let me see.
that's the plan.
That's the plan.
That's the plan, but
That's
my plan. It may not be His plan, so that's fine.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, kind of the last thing, if you could leave anybody watching this with just a final thought, or just something that you like to say constantly, just something that keeps you going, keeps your focus on Jesus, because I know that's something that has been very obvious in your life since I've known you, that you're just focused on trying to grow closer to God. What is one thing that you would leave people with that are watching this to keep their focus on Jesus over anything else? Or what that you've learned that's helped you to keep your focus on Jesus?
Man, you put me on the spot. It's like, you know, in the Bible say that we do. One day He said, if it's for Jesus, then He's for you, but if it's not, then He's against you.
Yeah.
So I try to do everything for Him because I know He's always with me. He's always with me no matter what, but if I try to keep things for Him and about Him, then I know that He's especially with me. And also, you know, you don't have to go to Zambia, which is, you know, thousands of miles away, to go and, you know, do missions and go help people. I mean, like we witnessed last weekend, you can go to Little Rock, you know, and the best thing to do, if you want to, you know, go help people or those in need, is to just put yourself in the uncomfortable positions, you know, because, you know, the awkward and uncomfortable positions with people and interacting with them and talking to them about Jesus, you know, even though they may be uncomfortable, that's where Jesus is going to work the most.
Yeah.
So, you know, like I said, you don't have to go to Zambia to do a mission. You know, you can do them in Little Rock. You can, you know, here in Searcy, or, you know,
on your street.
On your street, honestly, or, you know, at your church. It doesn't matter. You don't have to go to Searcy or to Zambia, but, you know, I just say go wherever you feel God's calling you to go. Do whatever you feel like God's calling you to do.
All right. That's it. This 15-minute story. This is Seth Hancock. We're done. Sweet. Thank you. Oh. That was the lamest thing I've ever seen.